Okay, this is number 7 of a series of videos on the GTI. Okay, as you can see, the engine's pretty well all back together. Intake manifold, there's a couple of lines, the motor mounts in the front. Down below you can see the timing chain still, and that's the first chain in the front, that's the oil pump, the back was the timing chain. That cover's got to go on tomorrow, but I got to clean the sides around it where it mounts it and make sure it doesn't leak. And then this is the last of the components. Here, you can see the starter, the reservoir bottle, the timing chain cover, the dampener, the dipstick, the 2 motor mounts. That's the mount that goes to the engine, that's the motor mount that goes to the car, the belt, of course, the starter. It's pretty well down. And then there's the air box down below on the floor that's still got to go in. It's a pretty well designed car. They're really not that hard to work on. It's just, for me, a lot of new technology, and I don't mind that. It's just learning how everything relates and works can be a real pain in the behind. So this is the back side. So you can see that pump right here with a hose directly in front of you. This guy here, that's the high pressure direct injection pump driven by the cam, the exhaust cam. That was interesting to put on. And then you can see the intake manifold. This basically provides air and air alone. It's a throttle body right here, electronically controlled. There's a bunch of lines down below for the turbo. But in a nutshell, I thought I'd have it running today, but I'm old and slow, and that's okay. You want to do it right. The car only has 100 miles on it. Tomorrow I'll go ahead and get hopping on it, finish up the last of the components on it. We will use a remote starter, and we will crank it 1 minute on, 3 minutes off, 1 minute on, 3 minutes off. That's to make sure there's oil pressure. I'll do it with a remote starter so there's nothing else that's energized for the ignition or fuel. And once I determine it's got good oil pressure, and I've already changed the oil filter on it, there was no debris or anything in it when he did the flashover rev on it, which I didn't expect it to. Everything else looked good. So tomorrow you'll see what it looks like when it's running, and it should run really well. The poor kid's had it for 6 months, had it apart in his driveway, broken down for 2 months, and it took him 4 months just to get the parts to put it back together. So we have it, and they wanted 10 grand. I think everything's said and done, we did it for 3,800. So that's really not too bad. And anyway, this was the one that was most remarkable, and I was talking earlier. It's these are all magnets back here where I'm touching. That's a magnet, and they all control the variable valve timing. So it was a pretty good learning experience for me on how they did that. And of course, my co-pilot's locked inside the car. That's Rat Dog. That's the my helper. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed that. Number 7 out of 7 videos, and tomorrow she'll be up and running. Okay.